I recently got married a few days ago. It was a traditional Punjabi wedding and I had an absolute blast. For some context, I have 3 brothers and no sisters. In traditional Indian weddings, there are certain ceremonies where you would need your female relatives to be a part of. Since I have no sisters, my cousins stepped in. My families have always had a strained relationship with one another, always due to some petty fights that occurred years ago that some of the relatives just can't let go of. Most of the cousins don't partake in this because we're aware that it's ridiculous. I have one cousin I'll name X, who is extremely nice but unfortunately super shy and timid. During one of the ceremonies, I insisted that my cousin be a main part of it because I know she would genuinely enjoy it, but would be shy to volunteer herself or ask for it. One of my cousin's fiancés, however, is quite the opposite. She constantly likes to put herself in the middle of everything. This is the part where I may be the asshole. I'm ready. During one of the ceremonies, you are supposed to have one of your female relatives sit behind you on stage and basically just take care of you, fix your hair or your clothes. I specifically told cousin X that she would be the one to do this for me. However, when the day came, my cousin's fiancé was the one who took her spot. I was confused, but could not do much. After the ceremony, I found cousin X, and she explained to me that the fiancé who took her spot basically scolded her, yelled at her, and said that she should be the one doing it since cousin X is still young and doesn't know anything. She then told cousin X to go down with the other guests despite cousin X's protests. Cousin X's mother, my auntie, who I absolutely adore and has been a huge help with the wedding, was quite upset with this, but I did not want to cause a scene and just told cousin X it's okay. When I heard this, I was furious. The fiancé took what was meant to be a special moment and made it all about herself. I sat the fiancé down and told her that she had no right to do what she did, and I was extremely upset with her for doing so. Apparently, she was so upset by this conversation, she refused to come to the other ceremonies the next day. I was fine with this because I generally don't like adults who throw temper tantrums, but my cousin says that I had no right to speak to his fiancé like that, and now his entire family has been constantly saying a lot of negative things about my family and the whole situation. Am I the a-hole? Nah. This is what you wanted for your wedding, and it was no right of your cousin's fiancé to go against what you wanted. And it also kind of sounds like your family just sort of picks up on all the petty BS and just runs with it. No, you're not the a-hole. All right. You are not a bridezilla, my dear. Congratulations. Bride asks, am I the a-hole for telling her fiancé she doesn't want his female best friend at their wedding? My fiancé has a female best friend since childhood. Now, I'm not the person who gets jealous over my partner being friends with the opposite gender. I'm bisexual, so it wouldn't be rational of me to have some weird expectations like this. Not sure if that correlates, but okay. Plus, my fiancé has many female friends as a straight guy, and I have friends of both genders as well. What bothers me here is not the gender of the friend, but whether or not they're able to respect boundaries. So I make the same talk if the friend in question was a male. So, to the point, his female best friend, Rachel, has always been in competition with me regarding on who's more important and a bigger priority to my fiancé. At first, my fiancé failed to stand up to her and set boundaries, but after a small break we had, and after we reconciled, he realized the importance of boundaries and set hard boundaries with her. I know that whenever she sees me or hears about me, she's not happy, but we act kind to each other despite our actual feelings. The situation, by the way, has been rolling out for the past 5 years that I've been with my fiancé. When he proposed, Rachel didn't congratulate us at all and completely overlooked our entire engagement and kept referring to me as my fiancé's girlfriend. My fiancé kept correcting her each time, telling her how she's not funny or quirky doing this. She's just disrespectful, and after a certain point, she stopped. Now that we are planning our wedding, we picked our groomsmen and bridesmaids, and my fiancé has his female friends as one of his groomsmen, a groomswoman. After my fiancé asked her to join that role, she texted me a lengthy paragraph which summed up to,
just so you know, your fiancé and I are still each other's priority. You may marry him and have kids with him, share a house with him, but right now, he picked me as a groomswoman knowing that would bother you because he cares about not hurting my feelings more than your feelings. You can easily ruin friendships like that. Just stay in your lane and accept your place. You may be his wife, but I'm his best friend and I'm not going anywhere. Make peace with it, and who knows, soon enough, we might get along.
Those are some fighting words, Rachel. I showed my fiancé and he said he'll deal with her and I shouldn't worry. I told him I've had enough and that the only solution I'm accepting is proper consequences for her actions. This means she's either dropped as a groomswoman or uninvited. He makes the call for which one it will be, but I'm tired of his best friend not having real consequences of her actions and getting her way. I won't trust him enough to proceed with our wedding if he doesn't set clear limits and make his friend face the consequences of her behavior. He said what I'm doing is very unfair because he's not responsible for her actions and feels like I'm putting unnecessary responsibility and pressure on him. Am I the a-hole? No. No, you're not. I think she's got it a little twisted. Rachel does. You're the wife. You have the precedence. Spouses above all things, okay? Above best friends, above parents, maybe kids come first, but spouses are the top of the food chain. Don't eat your spouse. I don't know, this whole thing kind of irks me a little bit. Like, I feel like she's just waiting around for her, like, chance with him. She's getting, like, super weird and territorial over it. And, like, it's your wedding. And his wedding. I don't like that. I don't like that. I would feel super uncomfortable with having her, like, not only a part of the wedding party, but at the wedding itself. Not the a-hole, but Rachel wasn't wrong when she said he cared more about her feelings than yours. Yeah, see, this is the issue here, is I feel like the feeling between them is mutual. You know? All right, my dear, you are not a bridezilla.